Hey guys, shouldn't have gone out today. I knew better than to go out on the weekend. The weekends tend to be just a massive Perpathon. You know, so from the moment I left today, I had a few errands to run. I had to go, and from the moment I left, they were on me until really the moment I got back. Um, so what they've been doing is they've been doing the turnaround. Like I'll walk out, and it doesn't matter where I am in the city. They'll have a car do like a U-turn on the street. In a few cases, like they'll do it as I'm crossing the street, and it almost hit me. So it was right in front of me and stopped right there. So they had a guy do that. This time though, it wasn't. They didn't almost hit me this time. It there's a guy in a blue car. He did the typical turnaround. He and then the window on the driver's side was down, and I know he yelled something out of the car at me. I didn't hear what it was, but I can assume it wasn't a compliment. So that was right from the start. It was like I hadn't been out for 5 minutes. I had walked, it wasn't even 5 minutes. I was out for like a minute, and I was about to cross the street. That's when it was. Okay. So I didn't take rideshare today because I don't like to. And of course, I'm not going to take public transportation during a pandemic. It's just too risky. So I walked everywhere, and it was a few miles. And on the way there was some guy, and he was holding his cell phone camera up in my direction. Like he was just standing there holding the damn camera up facing me as I was walking towards him. And they'll do this. They'll have people just hold their camera up at me or flash it at me, or, because it's meant, when it first started, obviously I had no clue what was happening. Why are all these people taking my picture? Who the hell are they? How do they know me? What is going on? And it's meant to frighten you. And, you know, now obviously we know what it is, but that doesn't make it any less infuriating. Um, it's almost like a fight or flight response where, and they know that I hate being watched. I hate being looked at. I always have. It's just, my instinct is to hide. So forcing a person to, what it is, I mean, obviously we know the psychopaths running this program are trying to provoke the target into violence, just snapping by doing, whatever it takes to cause the target distress, and whatever way that will work, right? And for some, it's the same treatment, and for others, the treatment varies depending on what's going to bother them the most and what's going to cause them the most distress. But we know that the end goal is of the psychopaths is to get the targets to snap violently on these worthless garbage dump vermin perpetrators. Target destroys him or herself that way too, right? We're talking prison or a mental ward or something like that. So, and the perpetrators, I mean, their lives, the lackeys who are hired to do these sick jobs, their lives don't matter to the people who hire them. They're being sent out to be killed by the targets, right? This is about the targets, and this is about the psychopaths who are targeting us. Anyway, we know this, the desired result of the psychopaths running this. We know what they want from us. But when it comes to the lackeys, they do it because they enjoy it. They enjoy the power it gives them over someone. First of all, they enjoy inflicting pain on others. They like hurting people. They're sadists, right? But that also gives them power, right? If they're going to do something to someone that somebody likes, that they don't have power over the person is going to willingly agree to it. The person is going to maybe even thank them. Hey, that was great, right? But if they're doing something to the person that they know the person does not like, right, and they're not going to stop, they're going to force the person to endure it, that's power. Because they know that the individual wants them to stop, and they're not going to stop. They're going to keep doing it even more and more. And the more of a response they get, the more they're going to do it. But of course, if you don't give them a response, they try even harder to get one. So you're damned either way, no matter what you do or don't do, whether you respond or not. But they enjoy the power this gives them over others, and they enjoy hurting people, which is why I always say there is no low they won't stoop to, right? They will take this as far as they can get away with in order to cause distress toward other people. That's why they do this, okay? They do it because they like doing it. And, whatever they can get away with. Right now, we can say, "Oh, well, it's just holding up, a phone to you." Well, yes, but when you go out, you've got all these different people holding up their phone to you and flashing your picture and even addressing you by name, and you don't know them, and you don't know how the hell they know you, right? And you don't have a YouTube channel. This started before I started my YouTube channel, right? I started this channel because of this happening, right? Um, the only thing I could think of was that fight I had on another blog site over a decade ago where I was doxxed. I thought it all started then, right? But it's meant to show you you're being followed, not just by one person, but by a lot of people, and they know you, and they're infiltrating your life, but you don't know who they are, and you don't know why, and you're afraid, and it's instinct is to start fighting back, just swatting at them, even physically. And once you do that, you're done, right? They've got you, right? Provoke and report. That's what the vermin do. So yeah, this guy, he was holding up his camera to me, and I'm crawling out of my skin. This little bastard, he got me shouting. This one got me shouting. It I shouldn't have said anything, but I did. I said some things. Then I walked on. And of course, as I, walked past him, he turned around, still recording. Um, and at some point, a target is just going to snap. And these little bastards, they think that, they're under the delusion of that this is some kind of heroic achievement, gathering in a massive group against a lone target who can't fight back. But at some point, what they don't really believe is that the target is going to snap violently. Why? Because the cameras are there. There's, they're doing this in broad daylight and out in the open, right? They've got the target in a controlled setting where if he or she does do something, it's recorded, it's reported. But at some point, it's too much. The target's going to snap, right? That's what the SICK program is meant to lead to. And of course, I'm not going to. I have the restraint not to. But at the same time, you don't know what other people are going through and just how bad this gets. When you have people coming into your home when you're not there and moving things around or leaving a window open, or coming by you when you're out and repeating things you said or did in private, it's sick. It is absolutely perverse. It is perverse. But anyway, so I walked on, left the little bastard where he was, the filthy vermin. They come at you in swarms. That's why I call them vermin. If they don't want to be called vermin, they can stop acting like vermin. Anyway, so I walk on, and it's a lot of it's a lot of Eastern European looking guys, right? Eastern European looking dudes. I'm not going to call them men because you know what? They're gathering in a massive group against a lone target that they don't believe can ever fight back. They're a bunch of cowardly little. The one thing they won't do is go after someone they truly believe to be a real threat. No, they're just going to keep bending over for it like cowards. Anyway, that's what the perpetrators are. Then we have the targets. They try to demonize us and call us all kinds of horrible names. They try to emasculate male targets. They attack your sexuality. If you're a guy, if you're a male and a target, the perpetrators attack your sexuality. And if you're a woman, they attack your femininity, right? As if that's a bad thing, as if you're weaker and this and that. But who is gathered in a massive group against a lone target who they don't believe can fight back? It's not the target. It's the garbage dump perpetrators, the cowards. They get all the thrill of the hunt without any real risk to themselves. It's pathetic. It's a coward's war. So, when it comes to male targets, the perpetrators will attack your sexuality. Of course they will, right? When it comes to female targets, the perpetrators will attack everything about you, your body, your mind, even your soul. Of course they will. But tell me, who's the real effeminate one there? Who's the real, who's less of a man? The one who's gathered in a massive swarm against some lone target he doesn't believe can fight back, or the one who's standing on his own or her own? Anyway, so I walk on, and it's this they come at me from like all angles, these Eastern European looking guys, and a lot of them do have Russian accents, and I don't know if they're actually Russian or if they're faking the accents, right? I don't know if this is Russia doing it or if someone wants us to believe that it's Russia and they're trying to set them up. I don't know. But it's being made to look like there's a Russian presence. The first guy, not the first guy in the car, but the second guy the guy who's holding up his camera, he was either Italian or Jewish. I don't know. God help me. Oh, God help me. Okay, so I walk on and they follow me. They every now and then they'll flip the camera up at me. I'm trying to think of what else. So I had to go to the store today, and there were two people, a man and a woman, following me around, and they looked kind of nervous. Now these were not Eastern Europeans. These were I don't know if they were Hispanic or not, but they were following me around, and they looked nervous, kind of like they didn't know what they were doing or didn't. I don't know, like didn't know what to expect. So I know that not all perpetrators are aware they're involved in a crime. I think some are told this is a game. Some are told, I don't know, they can be told anything, right? So of course, some are told to monitor the target. The target is accused of being a threat. But these two looked like they didn't know what they were doing. They were laughing a little, but not in a sinister way, like not in a condescending way. They were kind of almost shyish. Like I don't know how to describe it, but they followed me around, and I didn't really go off on them only because they looked like I don't think they were bad people, is what I'm saying. Plus, we were in a store. I don't need any more. I don't need to give security any more proof that because they follow us around and they have security called on us everywhere, right? I know other targets have had that happen to them too, and the last thing we need is to give security a reason to follow us, right? Proof that we're whatever the perpetrators say that we are. Okay. So, fast forward, walking home, and this guy comes out from the side of a gas station, and he did something. He made a gesture that both men and women make toward me, and I'm not gonna do it here, but he kind of opened his mouth in a circular, like wide and circular, and he stuck his tongue out a little bit and wiggled it around. I've had both men and women do this to me, and it's they look directly at me when they do it. And I shouted at him. I called him a few things. I told him to stop bending over for these psychopaths and stand against them. But the truth is, chances are he might just think this is some stupid game, right? He wasn't Eastern European either. He was again, he looked kind of Hispanic. I don't really know. I couldn't tell. Maybe he was mixed race, but yeah, for all I know, he just thinks this is a game. I don't know. But second time I shouted today. Luckily, it was outside. And then he started laughing after I got clearly angry. But okay, walking home. I'm trying to think because I want to keep this in order. So two things. One, let's see. The Eastern Europeans. The closer I get to home, the more Russian the presence is. It's these thuggish kind of Russian dudes. Then let me see. Another guy came walking towards me. So I'm walking, and there's this Russian guy. I say he's Russian. I assume now because so many of them start talking with thick Russian accents when they're around me, just who look like him. I guess he might not have been Russian, but he's standing there. He looks over at me as I pass. Then he texts something. Then he looks back at me. Then he texts something. Then he looks back at me again. So he's showing me that whatever they're talking about, it's me. They're just letting me know. Okay. Then another guy. Oh wait, no. But before that, see, I said I wanted to keep things in order, and it's a little difficult. So before that, another guy came, and just as at this point, I'm like 2 blocks from home. And he gave the nose rub and the nose tap, which they're gonna perp me right up until I walk inside. These sick, filthy, psychopathic vermin, right? Okay, so then the Russian guy, right? He might not have been Russian. Okay, I'm assuming. I shouldn't assume. Um, okay, and then the final stretch, the final few yards. I'm walking home, and this other guy is walking toward me. He's smirking like all hell. He looks at his camera, looks back at me. He's smirking. He's laughing. You know, at some point, a target is going to get rid of those smirks indefinitely. This little bastard, this vile little vermin, this rat, is mocking me. He's looking at the phone and mocking me and letting me know that you know, whatever he finds so amusing, it's about me. And, you know, keep in mind that they've also showed me that they have access to this apartment. As I said, they've come in and done things if one of us isn't here, like open a window or move things around or, you know, things like that. Or they've had people repeat things that my mom and I said or did in private, including things we've done in private where, you know, no one actually said anything. So they're showing us that we're being watched. And, you know, that there's a sexual aspect to that as well. I can't even protect my mother from that. So, you know, this is war, and instinct is to fight back physically. And I had to control myself. It is very hard to do. I will. I'm not going to give these psychopaths what they want. I mean, it's the psychopaths running this who want violence, right? The vile perpetrators are pathetic cowards who, you know, they again, you know, they're enjoying a coward's war. They're the thrill of the hunt without any risk to themselves, or so they believe. They don't believe the target is going to do anything. But the psychopaths running this want violence, and I'm not going to give that to them. I'm not going to let them take me down that way by driving me to destroy myself, right? And this is also something I tell other targets. Don't respond with violence, okay? Do not allow these psychopaths to drive you to destroy yourself because that's what they want, right? You respond violently, you either end up in prison or in a mental ward, and you certainly end up discredited. Then they, you know, they say to everybody they've been slandering you to, see, we told you he was this, we told you she was that. Anyway, it's been, I was only out for less than maybe an hour and a half, I don't know, maybe 2 hours at the most, and it was, boy, long ass day. I'm gonna cut this short now. I just needed to vent. As always, I don't know who's doing it. They appear to be Russian, but maybe they're not. We know our own government is involved in this. So if they are Russian, then did they take over our government already? Have we already been conquered? I don't know. Peace.